The developers of EVE Online's CCP Games have today released details for their upcoming Catalyst expansion, and it looks like a lot more changes are coming than anyone had anticipated. Now, we don't actually have a trailer yet, but I expect that's to come, so in the background you're mostly going to see footage from previous expansion trailers from the EVE Online press kit. The first changes are in mining. Ultimately, resource extraction underpins everything else that happens in EVE, so it seems like a likely target for new content. But on the other hand, it's also something that needs to be treated delicately. Unfortunately, recent expansions targeting mining have had major knock-on effects to the game's economy, with Equinox completely changing the Moon Materials ecosystem, as well as the playstyle of mining altogether, and then later patches taming the price of the nullsec and Pochvan-only mineral, Macoxit. Whether these changes were a positive for the game is a matter that is, as always, up for debate, but to see even more changes in mining so soon is quite surprising, but the changes do at least look to be innovative rather than just minor stat adjustments. Phased fields will be a new way to mine, and along with that comes a brand new resource, Prismaticite. CCP explained that this will be extremely valuable, but that will be for EVE's player-driven free market to decide ultimately. The concept appears to be that there'll be a new deployable you have to anchor in order to mine from these phased fields, and CCP have released a video of a hyperspace fracture at one of these phased fields, which you can see in the background now. This will seemingly be a time-limited activity, with the similarities making it seem like a mining-focused variant of the Concord Rogue Analysis or Crab beacon. The Prismaticite, as the prismatic part of the name suggests, will be refined into different minerals at random, but with the ability to control the outcome using reactions. The value and practical application of this ore is going to highly depend on the cost of reprocessing it this way, as well as that statistical likelihood of each mineral being produced. I'm especially interested to see this data as it presents a brand new, much more granular way for CCP to control the mineral supply of each material independently without the sweeping changes to ore spawning mechanics we saw in the Equinox expansion. Beyond this new mining activity, we are also being given a new mining ship, the Pioneer. The first of its kind, the Pioneer is a mining destroyer intended to sit between the current options of frigate or barge-sized mining ships. While the Pioneer will be available to alpha characters, there will also be a Tech 2 version and a Consortium issue variant of the ship, and the Tech 2 version at the very least will likely be limited to Omega accounts. Getting more into the nitty-gritty parts of mining, some adjustments are being made to the more core elements of the activity. Mining cycles are now going to be much faster, but with the same overall yield. So you can imagine, for example, a mining laser that was once pulling in 60 units of ore once every minute could be pulling in 1 unit of ore every second. This will be of great relief to multi-boxers managing large Hulk mining fleets, as compressing ore before your hold fills up is going to become a little more forgiving. Even single account players, however, will probably enjoy the more responsive and dynamic mining experience, as CCP describes it. A new concept of mining crits are being added, which seems pretty straightforward. Much like a wrecking shot in ratting, this promises a bonus to the amount of ore mined purely relying on chance. What percentage chance we're looking at we don't actually know yet, but CCP have said that there will be skills and modules designed to improve the chances. I can't say I'm particularly excited or interested by this change really though. Mining is an activity that's done over a long period of time. Anyone who's doing this as one of their primary activities in EVE is likely to be dedicating many hours to even just one site, so any chance-based crits are really just going to average out into an overall slight increase in yield, and by proxy, it's adding yet another mining skill needed to maximize your mining income. There's a UI update for survey scanning, adding a completely new button to the interface that when clicked will scan nearby rocks, overlaying an ISK per M3 number for each rock selected in space. This is interesting. It's still going to require the survey scanner module, but it doesn't appear to give the overall M3 of the scanned rocks, which is the primary use for this module really. Plenty of third-party sites like Celestus can tell you which ore you should be mining to remain ISK efficient, but maybe this is just an oversight in CCP's promotional video, or maybe even locked behind Tier 2 survey scanner modules. Hopefully there'll be more information and demonstrations from CCP over the coming weeks to clarify this. HiSec mining is getting some visual love, which I honestly love seeing CCP put effort into the HiSec content. It doesn't really get as much attention as it deserves. I may not have been a high-sec player for a few years now, but it's where almost everyone starts their journey in EVE, and it deserves some care and attention for those that choose to stay there too. Mining mutaplasmids are finally adding a way to, abyssal fit your exhumer? I mean, what's not to love about that? I already see mining pilots getting up to all kinds of hijinks with their expensive Hulk fleets, so why not give them an even more bleeding edge efficiency to invest in, honestly? Creating more risk-reward like that rarely hurts the game, and I look forward to seeing some multiple billion ISK barges hitting Z-Killboard. Not to be left out, explorers will be happy to hear that the Sisters of Eve ship line is receiving a new command ship, the battlecruiser-sized hull, Odysseus. The Sisters of Eve ships have a habit of being real beauties, and this one is no exception. CCP kind of buried the lead with this one though, as a close look into the ship's stats unveils something a little deeper. The ship is going to have a large cargo hold for more loot and bonuses to gas cloud harvesting, but there's also the introduction of a new Expedition Command Burst. What effects this command burst will have is unknown, but perhaps a combination of gas cloud harvesting and hacking efficiencies would make sense, given the Odysseus' dual-role design. Unlike any of the existing Sisters of Eve ships, the Odysseus will also be able to sport a 0-point mass entangler. Previously reserved for heavy interdictors, this allows them to pass through wormholes with a considerably lower mass limit than the ship's unmodified mass, and reduces the rolling effects of the ship passing through a wormhole. If you're more of a K-Space explorer for some reason, CCP are introducing the 2D map that they teased a few months ago, and while improvements to the map are definitely long overdue, I think most pilots have since replaced any sort of reliance on the in-game map with third-party tools like Dotlan and Rift, so it remains to be seen how much utility the new 2D map will actually have. Speaking of the Sisters of Eve, their eponymous Epic arc has held a top spot for many years now on PvE content recommended to new bros, providing a good opportunity to travel around New Eden and easily accomplished in early game ships with few skill requirements. It's been an understandable common answer to what should I do next in Rookie Chat. With the Catalyst expansion, we're going to see a brand new arc designed to introduce the expansion's new content, specifically the mining. This is a change of fundamental expansion release design for CCP, so I'm kind of excited to see how it plays out. Many MMOs introduce new quest lines and narrative experiences designed to tutorialize new expansion mechanics, but EVE has always sort of avoided this, daring not to hold your hand that much, favoring a trial and error and community conversation approach to get to the bottom of new metas and activities. Plex transaction logs have been added, which is, great I guess, but honestly surprising that it's a new thing. Better late than never. And then for the final major rework of the patch, another adjustment to carriers, which already saw pretty major changes in functionality last year when carrier conduiting was introduced. This was, in my opinion, a great change to foster growth for small corporations and alliances who may not yet be able to rely on constant Titan Bridge coverage. CCP are playing their cards close to the chest on this one, however, as the changes have been described only as a buffed utility, a visual refresh, and a reduction in manufacturing cost. They also say that these aren't going to be drastic changes, which is a shame, honestly. Carriers as PvE or PvP ships sit in a tough place right now, struggling to achieve a good ISK to output ratio, especially in comparison to Marauders or Dreadnoughts. So a massive decrease in their manufacturing cost would be welcome to bring about a more relevant position in the game's meta. What do you think of the patch announcements so far? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. It looks like an exciting winter for EVE, and I can't wait to see CCP give some more details on what's to come.